In just 6 hours, a fleet of planes was airborne, taking personnel and medical equipment to Bali and bringing the injured home. In just 21 hours, 66 of the most severely wounded had been airlifted to Darwin. From there, further south, in every corner of Australia, doctors and nurses fought against the clock.
This, on feminist blog Jezebel, may well take the case. In fact, newspapers and tweeters around the world have been going gangbusters for Jay Gill's feisty speech in the House of Reps, in which she called Tony Abbott a sexist and a woman hater.
The increase in IVF babies from the 1970s led to a surge in higher order multiples. In 1980, there were 30, and figures peaked around 100 in the late 90s. Over the past decade, numbers have begun falling as advanced IVF technology implants fewer embryos. Did you know that for every Australian, there's 10 $100 notes in circulation? Now you might be thinking, so what? But when you consider that there are only 7 of the more commonly seen $20 notes for each Aussie, it becomes a bit of a head-scratcher.
Australian governments spend almost $40 billion a year on education. Of the 9,500 schools in Australia, 70% are public schools. They educate 65% of students and get 70 cents in every dollar of government funding.
Earlier this year in China, scientists discovered changes in the brains of internet addicts that mimic those seen in the brains of drug users. Another study at Yale University in the US found that the 1 in 25 teenagers who overused the internet were more prone to depression and drug use.
In 2011, just 12 people were killed in shark attacks worldwide. This year alone, human beings will hunt and slaughter more than 70 million sharks of all species.
With 1 in 5 teens admitting to having tried cannabis and about 5% admitting to ecstasy use, there's clearly an issue when it comes to drugs in adolescents. In fact, over 16,000 people slept outside last night, and 315 new homeless people are turned away from shelters daily. The waiting list for public housing is 16 years. For people at extreme risk, waiting time is 12 to 18 months. Selling 4 million copies there, sold 1 million copies in the UK, has reached top 10 in more than 30 other countries.
There are about 38 million pets in Australia, with 63% of homes having at least one. This year, the average household will spend $1,460 on pets. Most of the money will be on dogs, more than twice as much as their feline competition. Keeping our pets fed will set us back $2.8 billion. Keeping them healthy, another $2.1 billion. And we're happy to shell out more than $1 billion on keeping them entertained. Among the fastest growing services